Okay, so now for the speech, as I'm sure everyone is dying to hear it. So last week I had given my thoughts about why trusting the media and news is important, but now for what I truly believe, which is why you should not blindly believe everything that is said to you. Um, so throughout history, social psychology has been used to control the thoughts and decisions of the public, and it can be done so smoothly that the everyday person or individual can fail to ever or even notice what is going on. In order to be able to take a step back and think for yourself, it has to be understood what tactics are being used by the media, people in positions of powers, or companies, or even people that are close to us, to persuade or guide our beliefs and decisions. So, in order for you to truly listen to what I have to say, I'd like to mention my credibility. Um, it's due to I'm a psychology major, and I've done quite a bit of research on this topic, not just for this, but for other things and subsections previously. So I'm also speaking off so my research and professionals, not just what I believe. And now, so although it can have its benefits, propaganda is used all around us to subconsciously guide our decision making and beliefs. And in this speech, I'll be reviewing and informing all of you about the problem with how effective propaganda is, the causes of why it may be used, and finally a solution to living with um, propaganda and being able to take in things around you with a grain of salt. So, firstly, let's look at the most common and known type of social psychology used by the public, which is propaganda. The problem with propaganda is that its sole purpose is to attract the attention of the masses and control their behavior and change attitudes or beliefs um, by going after emotion. It's especially irrelevant in today's society, especially with being all over the media with this whole COVID thing and the 2020 elections. The issue with it is that it's used by almost everyone in order to persuade someone or the public into buying into a certain belief or product. This technique was used by Nazi Germany and it was the most powerful driving force to keep everyone fighting and to motivate citizens. And it's used in today's election to sway the general public with all their advertisements and commercials. And it does that while also putting down the opposition. Especially with media and technology advancing and being used as much as it is, propaganda is more common, and which therefore makes it more effective in controlling the population because it repeatedly hits more and more eyes. So now that there is a basis on the problem of propaganda, I would like to discuss the causes and why it is used in the first place. Propaganda can be used as a weapon due to the power that comes with public support. So having the support of the public obviously allows the endorser to win over any competition. And the struggle to gain the support from the minds of the masses has been a fight ever since humanity existed, really. What I mean by that, for example, like the Greeks used theater and games to sway their own political agendas, as well as they would handwrite books and circulate them through the population with the hopes to control people's opinions. So propaganda became very powerful and popular during World War One, sorry, but mainly in World War Two. It's everywhere and throughout history has been used to control opinions of masses, like I've said, and it's still a problem because of how powerful and effective it truly is. It's kind of underestimated. The problem of propaganda controlling the opinions of others, it hasn't been solved. It can't really be solved. There's no way to truly get rid of it. Only to be able to realize what it is and to take in these statements and make your own decisions or considerations. And as far as responsibility, it's not under who's responsible for it. It's more of a what. Like I said earlier, the need to have the public support is the sole reason for this problem. Every leader or company, anyone really knows that success is not achievable without the use of this advertisement or propaganda, and to have all that public support. And so After looking at the problem and the causes of propaganda and social psychology, now for the solution. So because it is impossible to get rid of propaganda, and because it also has some good uses, the solution is more individual based. The individual should take a step back and or so you're able to be more critical and have a better look at what is being shown and to identify the bias, the form of propaganda, and the symbolism that is used. For the first step for this is to identify bias, which is basically who is behind the advertisement and what idea or opinion is trying to get pushed. And for example, election propaganda may be very biased towards uh, the opposing candidate, which can also determine credibility, as you know that this one person is trying to get this spot and will do anything to push the opposition out of the way. So the second step is to identify the form of propaganda and the symbols that are used. An example being like an advertisement stating facts that may not be important but sound like the product is better. Or they could be using like something testimonial propaganda, which is just using a celebrity that people kind of desire or like to gain that extra support. And the third step is to take that information and to be able to do with it what you believe and not what they're trying to make you believe. And so, one must remember to take what they hear with a grain of salt, as in the end, there are some good forms of propaganda as well. So in conclusion, after looking at what propaganda is, its causes, and a solution, the individual should be able to recognize all these different forms and create their own opinion. And it's used all around us to guide our decision making and beliefs. So it's important to take, like I said, everything with a grain of salt and to be able to take this information in for yourself and reach your own conclusions, especially in today's age and time. It is important to recognize the strategies and manipulation that goes on all around you and understand how to deal with it, as it will always be there, and especially with technology advancing. Thank you for listening to this speech, and have a good rest of life. Semester's over.